Alright, we've arrived here at the Kingsbarns Distillery. I've never been here in my whole life, and I know they have got a couple of different brands. Let's give it a go. The Kingsbarns Distillery is about an hour's drive outside of Edinburgh, in Fife, and about 15 minutes drive outside of St Andrews. The standard Kingsbarns Distillery tour costs about £14 for adults and lasts for about 1 hour. There's also an option of booking an enhanced Dream to Dram tour for £60 per person. The Kingsbarns Distillery has a relatively short history and was founded in 2009. It's now owned by the Weems family, who have a deep connection to the land through their family history and decided to invest in the project as the main backers.
A farm building, farmsteading, basing back about 200 years or so, 200 years old. The idea of having a distillery here, an unusual kind of route, came from a golfer that worked at the Kingsbarn golf course next door. He was often getting asked by golfers coming off the last hole where they could sample whiskey and see it getting made. And at that point, back in about 2004, there were no distilleries in Fife at all. So he started searching about for investors, and luckily for us, William Weems, this gentleman here, came on board as a major investor. It's an old map of Fife. You can see there's St Andrews up here, so all this is the kingdom of Fife. And we live in an area called East Nook of Fife, roughly bordering about here. And there's the Kingsbarns, and the distillery is just here next to that estate I was down here at Campbell. And you've got all these lovely fishing villages down here, around this way. And it's concentrated, so you've now got a spirit from a beer to a spirit.
The Kingsbarns Distillery has two main brands, one of which used to be called the Dream to Dram, but this has now been replaced by a newer version called Doocot. On a nose for the Doocot you can get a real sense of fruitiness, floral whisky, and to taste it's smooth and light, balanced off by the bourbon casks that they use. They also have the Balcomie whisky, which is matured in 100% ex-Oloroso American oak sherry butts. This whisky has a distinct fruity character on the nose and in the taste as well. People seem to be split in opinion between which one they prefer on the tour, but I think for me it had to be the Balcomie. It was a really excellent dram. That was really good actually. I enjoyed that a lot. It's a very small distillery compared to some of the others I've got. I like the whiskey a lot, especially like the sherry cask. The Doocot was good as well, especially on the nose. Well, for a little trip, I'd recommend it. If you're in this area in Fife, it's not bad. And decent whiskey. It'll be interesting to see what they produce in future, given more time and more maturity. To find out more information and to read the full review, head on over to whiskyyard.com.